Fellow Ghanaians, Article 21 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, our beloved Republic Ghana, states explicitly and unambiguously, beyond any shadow of doubt, it explains the instances where an individual can be dragged to court or accused of defamation. If you insult an elderly person in Ghana, it does not constitute defamation. It is not captured in our constitution. If an individual wants to interpret your statements as verbal assault or verbal threats, then there are a lot of elements that have to come to play before the court can uphold it. I stand for the law. I stand for freedom of speech. I stand for the right thing to be done by our people, by our authorities, by people in the helm of affairs in our beloved country, Ghana. Young Don, in this context, according to constitutional provisions, has not erred. He has not breached any constitutional provision, any constitutional element. He hasn't. Yes, morally it's wrong, but legally it is not punishable by law. It's a young Don. If I'm speaking to you, I want to tell you, they have the forward direction. You are a free man if you set foot in the Republic of Ghana. Like I said in my previous videos, our Ghanaian people are so lawless that our elderly people and people in the helm of affairs can hide under the guise of innocent people to assault. They can hide under the guise of our police service to even arrest and detain you, which will be very illegal. Criminal defamation or libel, in this context, in more technical terms, libel has to do with when the accused person makes statements that would negatively impact, in this regard, the plaintiff or whoever is the recipient of the verbal threats or whoever is the recipient of those said statements. If Ajagraja or if Otunfo or whoever he is, he calls himself, or whoever is Chief Imam or whoever he calls himself, if he thinks that Young Don has insulted him, then prior to the arrival of Young Don at the Republic of Ghana on Ghanaian soil, they could go to court. They could seek legal remedies so that if Young Don arrives in the country, they would drag him to court. But I can suggest to you and challenge you, I put it to you, that you would lose this case hands down. You have to prove. Our people have to prove. The plaintiffs have to prove beyond reasonable doubt that those said threats or insults in common language has had an impact on your personality. Ajagraja has to prove to us what impact the said threats have had on you. I don't in any way suggest that it hasn't had any on you, But if it has, you have to prove to the court. Defamation has to have a deadening impact on the individual before it can be classified and upheld by the court. Defamation in previous cases, court cases, that has been upheld by the law, has had demeaning impacts on the person's reputation and brought them, demeaned them and degraded them, lessened them, and deprived them of certain privileges before men of honor. And if that could be substantiated, then the court would uphold it. And if not, it should be dismissed by the court. If you insult DrKay, if you insult me, and I want to drag you to court, the insult must have a deadening impact, a denigrating impact on my personality. It should degrade me. It should bring me to some low level, it should cause an irreparable damage to my personality as a human being before it can be classified as defamation. Otherwise, it will be annulled by the court. I'm giving you free legal advice. Young Don has erred morally, but he hasn't erred when it comes to the remedies of law. He hasn't. And therefore, nobody in the Republic of... That's why we have freedom of speech. Unless you want to tell me that freedom of speech element in our Constitution has been annulled or has been repealed. If it hasn't, then he's a free man. He should go free. This is the republic that we want to achieve. We want to achieve a free and fair republic. That is why we have the motto of our republic is freedom and justice. Young Don must be free. And that is lawful and legal. The right thing must be done. Thank you.